Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is December 31st, 2022. It's on Saturday, and it's sunny outside. And it is also the last day of 2022. How are you spending the end of the day, the end of the year? Are you still working or are you on a vacation? I hope you are enjoying the last day of the year. I wish you a very interesting day, wonderful day. I wish you a 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 wonderful day. I don't have plan for the New Year's Eve. Are you looking forward to something on New Year? Are you looking forward to watching special TVs on New Year's Eve and the New Year? Are you looking forward to the special TV specials which are on aired on New Year's Eve and the New Year? I couldn't recognize and I couldn't see through what the criminal was scheming at that time. Nobody could see through what the man was scheming at that time. What are you scheming? What are you scheming? What are you scheming? Don't even try to scheme wrongdoings. Don't even try to scheme wrongdoings. Don't even try to scheme a wrongdoing. The kid schemed telling a lie to her mother to escape from the scold. The kid schemed telling a lie to his mother in order to avoid the scold. The kid schemed telling a lie to his mother to avoid the scold. The kid schemed telling a lie to her mother in order to avoid the scold, so as to avoid the scold. The kid schemed telling a lie to his mother in order to avoid the scold. The students schemed cheating on each other. The student schemed cheating on the exam. 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 The scammer is scheming, depriving the old couples of money. The scammer schemed, depriving old ladies of their money. The scammer schemed, robbing old couples of money. The scammer schemed, depriving old couples of money. The scammer schemed, depriving old couples of their money. Don't even try to scheme. You look as if you were scheming. 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 As if you were scheming. As if you were scheming. As if you look as if you were scheming. You appear as if you were scheming. The schemer kept silent at the court. The schemer kept silent, stayed silent, remained silent, held silent at the court. Schemer, schemer. What is the difference between schemer and plotter? Schemer. What is the difference between schemer and plotter? What is the difference between schemer and plotter? Schemer. 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 What is the difference between schemer and plotter? At that time, he didn't look schemer. He didn't look a schemer. He didn't appear to be a schemer. He didn't appear to be a schemer. He didn't seem to be a schemer. At that time, nobody recognized him as a schemer. At that time, nobody viewed him as a schemer. At that time, nobody saw him as a schemer. At that time, nobody viewed him as a schemer. At that time, nobody regarded him as a schemer. At that time, nobody recognized him as a schemer. At that time, nobody regarded him as a schemer. At that time, no one regarded him as a schemer. Are you in charge of a scheming? Who is the schemer of this plan? Who is the schemer for the itinerary next year? Who is the schemer of the company picnic next year? Who is the schemer of the company picnic this year? Who is the schemer of the company picnic? Who is the schemer of the company picnic? Who is the schemer of the itinerary? 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 Who is the schemer of the plan? Who is the schemer of the plan? Who is the schemer of the itinerary? Who is the schemer of the itinerary? Who is the schemer of the project? Who is the schemer of the project? Who is the schemer of the itinerary? Who is the schemer of the plan? Who is the schemer of the itinerary? How many people were involved in creating the itinerary as schemers? How many people were involved in as a schemer? How many people were involved as a schemer? How many people were involved as a schemer of the itinerary? How many people were involved in the project as a schemer? How many people were involved in creating the plan as a schemer? No scheming is allowed. 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 He looks a scheming person. He didn't look a scheming person at that time. Nobody sees through him as a scheming person. No one viewed him as a scheming person. Nobody viewed him as a scheming person. Nobody at that time regarded him as a scheming person. Nobody at that time viewed him as a scheming person. Scheming. He looked a scheming person. Scheming person. A scheming person. He didn't look a scheming person at that time. He didn't look a scheming person at all. He didn't look a scheming person at all. He didn't look like a scheming person at all. He didn't look 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 a scheming person at all. Are you scheming? A scheming person. 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 It changed to a scheming atmosphere. It dawned on me that the company had been scheming from the start. It dawned on me that the company had been scheming me, scheming a wrongdoing from the start. It dawned on me. It dawned on me that the company had been scheming. It dawned on me that the company had been scheming wrongdoings. Hmm. Hmm. Nobody recognized him as a scheming person at that time. Nobody recognized him as a scheming person at that time. Nobody recognized him as a scheming person at that time. Nobody recognized him as a scheming person. Scheming person. Hmm. Nobody viewed him as a scheming person at that time. No one viewed him as a scheming person at that time. No one regarded him as a scheming person at that time. No one regarded him as a scheming person at that time. Nobody regarded him as a scheming person at that time. Nobody regarded him as a scheming person at that time. Nobody viewed him as a scheming person at that time. Scheming. Scheming. Nobody recognized him as a scheming person. No one could see through him as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Nobody could see through her as a scheming person. Scheming. How would you like me to heat the steak? Rare, medium, or well done? How would you like me to heat your steak? How would you like me to heat the steak? How would you like me to heat the steak? How would you like me to heat the steak? Rare, medium, or well done? Medium, please. Okay? Thank you, sir. My personality is the rarest in my town, I think. There are some rare species in the world. The rare species which are extinct at the risk of extinction. There are many rare endangered species. Rare endangered species. Endangered rare species. How do you want me to heat the steak? How do you want me to heat the steak? How would you like me to heat the steak? How do you want me to heat the steak? How would you like me to grill the steak? How would you like me to heat the steak? Rare, medium, or well done? Well done, please. Do you care eating raw fish? Can you eat raw fish? Do you find it weird to eat raw fish? Do you find it weird to eat raw fish? Rare fish? I first I wrote rare steak for the first time when I went to the steakhouse in Kobe. I was in a group of the customer. I was one of the customers in a group at the steak restaurant, and everyone was ordering rare steak, and I couldn't order other type of steak, including medium or well done. So I also ordered rare, rare steak. I was in a group of the customers around the table, and everyone was ordering rare steak, and I couldn't order the other version of the steak, such as medium or well done. So I also ordered rare. Rarely my cousin called me. Rarely my cousin calls me. Rarely does my cousin message me. Rarely does my cousin message me, send me messages. Seldom does my cousin send me a message. Rarely 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 does my cousin send me a message. My cousin rarely sends me a message. My cousin rarely sends me a message. My cousin seldom sends me a message. My cousin seldom sends me a message. Some employees rarely join the party. Some employees seldom join the party. Some people rarely smile. Some people seldom smile. Rarely do some people 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 smile. Seldom do some people smile. Rarely did I use the school cafe. Rarely did I use the school cafe. Seldom did I use the school cafe. It's a group. Is a mass of cells a tissue? Is the tissue consist? Does the tissue consist of a lot of cells? Does the tissue consist of a lot of a lot of cells? Does the tissue consist of a lot of cells? Right? I'm not sure. I'm just asking. Does the tissue consist of a lot of cells? For example, the muscle tissue. Is the tissue composed of a lot of cells? Is the tissue composed of some cells? The flashlight is getting dim, so I need to replace the cells with new ones. I need to replace the batteries with new ones. I need to replace the batteries with new ones. I need to replace the batteries with new ones. I need to replace the batteries with new ones. I need to replace the batteries, the cells with new ones. I need to replace batteries with new ones. I need to replace the batteries with new ones. I need to replace the cells with new ones. I need to replace the cells with new ones. I need to replace the cells with new ones. Mm. Mm. What is the phenomenon of what is called cell division? What is the cell division? What is the phenomenon of what they say? What is called, so to speak, cell division? Cell division. Cell division. Solar cells are being used gradually, more frequently. Solar cells are being used more frequently recently. More and more houses are using the solar panels to generate electricity from the sunlight. More houses are using the solar panels attached on the rooftop to generate electricity from the sunlight. My solar light is charged automatically from the sunlight because the solar panel, the solar cells are attached inside. My sensor light is charged automatically. My sensor light is charged automatically by the sunlight. The solar panel is attached inside. Are you familiar with science or biology? Are you familiar with biology? Are you familiar with cell division? What is the cell division? When does cell division happen? What causes cell division? What causes cell division? What causes cell division? What is the cell division exactly? Can you explain the phenomenon of cell division concisely, enough for me to understand, enough for me to able to understand, enough for me to able to understand, enough for me to able to comprehend, enough for me to able to comprehend, understand, figure out. My sensor light uses solar cells. Solar cells are using more and more. Solar cells are being used more and more. As far as I know, it became mandatory in Tokyo to set up solar panel on the roof of newly erected house in the near future. As far as I know, setting up a solar panel on the roof of the newly erected houses in Tokyo will be obligatory. The sensor light is getting dim. I need to change the battery with new ones. I need to replace the cell. I need to replace the. I need to replace the. I need to replace the cells with new ones. I need to replace. I need to replace the cells with new ones. I need to replace the cells with new ones. I need to replace the cells with new ones. Cells. Cell division. Cell division. What is cell division exactly? What causes cell division? 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 Do you have a cell phone? No cell phones or other electrical gadgets are not allowed to be used. No cell phones or other electrical devices are not allowed to be used. Thank you for your cooperation. No electrical gadgets, no electrical devices, including cell phones, are not allowed to be used during the examination. Please put your cell phones or other electrical devices into the bag after turning them off. Male students accounted for about 70% in my university. 70 female students accounted for about 45% in my university. The big company accounts for about 30% in the market share, in the semiconductor share, in the cell phone share, in the smartphone share in Japan. The big company accounts for about 30% of the market share of the cell phone, of the smartphone, of the phone. The big company accounts for about 30% of the market share of the phone in Japan. The big company accounts for about 30% of the market share of cell phone. Market share. Market share. How are you going to account for the mistake? How are you going to account for what you have, what you did? The kid told a lie to account for his being late for the school. The kid told a lie in order to account for not doing his homework. The kid told a lie to account for what he couldn't do the homework. The kid told a lie to account for what he didn't do the homework. The kid told a lie in order to account for what he didn't do the homework. The kid told a lie to account for what he didn't do the homework. The kid told a lie to account for the reason why he couldn't do the homework. The kid told a lie to account for the reason why he couldn't do the homework. The kid told a lie to account for the reason why he couldn't do the homework. The account made by the CEO didn't convince the customers at all, or which even made us angrier. The rude account made by the CEO of the company for doing damages to the customers didn't convince the customers at all, or even made the customers even angrier. I'm going to open an account of the bank. Do you think I can open? Because to open the bank account, we need the credit. We need trust in ourselves. Without trust, we cannot open the account. Because without trust, we cannot lend our money, borrow our money. Without trust, the bank might think that the customer will not be able to return the money. So that without trust, it can be difficult to open an account of the bank account. Are you going to open the account of the bank? Which bank account are you going to open? Which bank account are you going to open? Which bank accounts do you have? Which bank account do you recommend me to open? Which bank account do you recommend me to open for the first time as a university student? And I'm going to get the money to the account of the bank. Which bank account do you recommend me to open? Because I'm going to get my salary from the company to the bank account as a part-time employee. I'm not familiar with banks, so I'd like to know your opinion. I'd like to hear your opinion before creating my account. I'm thinking opening an account of the bank. I'm thinking of opening a bank account, and I'm not familiar with banks. So, which bank do you recommend to be opened account of? Which bank do you recommend me to open an account of? Which bank account do you recommend to be open? Do you recommend me to open? Do you recommend that I open? Which bank account do you recommend that I will open? Which bank account do you recommend that I open? Which bank account do you recommend that I open? Which bank account do you recommend that I open? The account made by the CEO didn't convince the customers at all, or which even made the customers angrier. The concise accounts made by the teacher helped me understand the equation better. The accused didn't appear in the court for the account. The account made by the teacher helped me understand the equation better. The concise account made by the teacher helped me to understand the equation better. Helped me understand the equation better. Helped me to understand the equation better. Helped me to understand the equation better. Helped me to understand the equation better. The account made by the concise account made by the teacher helped me to understand the equation better. Power it up. Coffee powers me up. Food and drinks powers me up. Coffee and food and drinks power us up. Daily training will power us up. Daily training will power us up. Daily training will power us up. I usually power me up by training harder than anyone else. I usually power me up with healthy lifestyle. How do you power yourself up before performance, before battle, before fight, before performance? How do you power yourself up? Power yourself up. How do you power yourself up before performance, before the match? To win over the opponent, to prevail over the opponent. The security was powered up at the security after the incident. The security was powered up in the scramble intersection to prevent people from rioting. More police officers were stationed, deployed, dispatched in the scramble intersection to prevent the people from getting into riot or chaos, mayhem. The floor was powered up, adding more brim underneath. The security was powered up by attaching more security cameras. The safety in the region was powered up by setting up more police stations. The safety of the region was powered up by deploying more numbers of police officers. The safety of the region, district, was powered up by deploying more numbers of police officers. The investigation into drunk driver was powered up on weekends recently. The investigation into drunk driving tend to be powered up on weekends. The security at the scramble intersection was powered up in order to prevent the people from getting into mayhem, chaos. The security at the intersection, the scramble intersection, was powered up so as to prevent people from getting into chaos, mayhem. Power up the computer. Could you power up the air conditioner? Could you turn up the air conditioner? Could you turn up the power of the air conditioner? Could you power up the air conditioner? Could you power up the air conditioner? Could you turn up the air conditioner, not power conditioner? Could you power up the air conditioner? Could you turn up the air conditioner? Could you turn down the volume of the radio? Could you turn down the fire a little bit more? Could you turn down the volume of the TV? Could you turn up the volume of the TV? Could you turn up the volume of the TV? I couldn't hear at all from a distance. Okay. Security was powered up in the museum after the incident. Security was powered up after the incident. Security was powered up after the incident. Electricity is very important in this period. It's not said too much that we cannot live without electricity. Many things are activated by electricity. Electricity and electronics sound very similar. Electricity and electronics sound very similar. And I often confuse both of the words. I often confuse electricity with electronics. Electronic devices. Electronic devices. I bought some electronic devices at Nipponbashi, Osaka, which is like Akihabara in Osaka. Electronic. Are you interested in electronic things? 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 Electronic. One of my friends majored in electronics. Are you interested in electronics? Electronic devices. You can buy electronics devices here in Akihabara. There are many kinds of electronic devices here. There are many kinds of electronic devices here. There are many kinds of electronic devices here. Electronic, electronic breakthrough, electronic development, electronic books, electronic textbooks. I used to study with electronic textbooks, but the explanation written on the textbooks were like maids, which even made my understanding worse. Made my understanding worse. Which made my understanding even worse. Electronic, electronics. Have you majored in electronics at university? No, I majored in mechanics. I see. Do you have acquaintances someone? Do you know someone acquaintance who majored in electronics? Do you know someone who majored in electronics at the same university? Do you know someone acquaintance who majored in electronics? Do you know someone majored in electronics? Electronic. Do you have the interest in electronics? Do you have the interest in electronics? Did you graduate from the university as an electrical engineer? Electric power. Electric power is indispensable in this period. We cannot live, it's not said too much that we cannot live without electric power. PC, air conditioner, heater, and many gadgets are activated by electric power. Electric power. Electric shock. Electric power. Electric power is very essential, inevitable, indispensable. Electric power is indispensable in our life. Electric power is indispensable in our life. Most of machines are activated by electric power. Electric power. Many things are activated by electricity. Many things are activated by electric power. 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 Electrical engineer, electrical engineer, electric power, electric mechanism, electric power. Electric power is indispensable in our society, in our life. It's not said too much that we cannot live without electric power. Electrical parade. I saw electrical parade at Tokyo Disneyland. Electrical parade. An electrical engineer. Did you graduate from the university as an electrical engineer? Did you graduate from the university as an electrical engineer? Did you graduate from the university as an electrical engineer? Electrical parade. Electrical mechanism, electrical power, electrical mechanism, electrical understanding, electrical bachelor degree. Electrical bachelor degree. Electrical, 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 electrical. The both words of electric and electrical are very similar for me. What is the difference between electric and electrical? I had a chance to to take a tour of the production line, assembly line of the factory. I used to produce semiconductor product. The machine can produce 100 units of the product per day. The machine can produce 100 units of the product per day. The machine can produce 100 units of the product a day per day. If it is produced by the human, it will take a week or 10 days to produce 100 units of the product. So you can see how efficient to produce with the machine. You can see how efficient to produce with the machine. So you can see how efficient it is to produce with the machine. So you can see how efficient it is to produce with the machine. The negligence might produce a mistake. Even subtle spark might produce fire. Subtle mistake might produce a big mistake. Even subtle mistake might lead to a bigger one. A lack of preparation might produce a mistake. Even subtle spark can initiate fire. Even subtle mistake can produce a bigger one. Even subtle spark can produce fire. Eating chocolate produced my allergy. There are many factors producing my allergy. There are many factors producing the itchiness on my skin. And there are many factors producing the itchiness on my skin. There are many factors, elements, causes producing itchiness on my skin. But the research into the reason why I feel itchy on my skin is being uncovered gradually. The research into the reason why I feel itchy on my skin is being uncovered gradually, and more medicines are available now. more new medicines are coming out recently, which are helping my skin condition better. But it's still not possible to treat my skin condition perfectly. But I hope someday in the near future my skin problem will be treated perfectly, drastically, thoroughly. There are many causes producing itchiness on my skin. There are many causes producing itchiness on my skin. I think endless effort of something will produce a breakthrough someday in some point of the life. I believe that a commitment to something forever, eternally, perpetually, will produce a breakthrough someday at some point of the life. Commitment to something forever, eternally, perpetually is the benchmark of the curiosity, of the symbol of curiosity. True curiosity. It's a sign of the true curiosity. Commitment to something, dedication to something, devotion to something forever is the sign of curiosity, true curiosity. I believe commitment to something forever, perpetually, eternally, for good, will produce breakthroughs. Negligence will produce a mistake. A lack of preparation, a short of preparation can produce a mistake. A lack of sleep can make a mistake, can produce a mistake, can arise a mistake, can bring about a mistake, can arouse a mistake, can cause a mistake, can produce a mistake. The heavy snow might produce car accidents. The heavy snow can produce an accident. A lack of sleep can produce a mistake. A short of sleep can produce a mistake. I believe endless effort will produce breakthrough someday, at some point in the life. I believe commitment to something forever will produce breakthrough at some point in the life, at some point in the life. I believe dedication to something, devotion to something, perpetually, forever, eternally, for good, will produce breakthrough at some point in the life. Factory produce, farm produce, farm produce, farm produce. In the Michino Eki, where you can buy some farm produce, fresh farm products, fresh farm products, directly from the farm, so it's very fresh farm products, farm produce in Michino Eki, which is a kind of station built in along the road. You can buy some farm fresh vegetables, farm produce, volcanic produce. There are some produces created by the volcanic eruption. The Earth is one of the produce of the outcome of the Big Bang. Farm produce, volcanic produce. Lava is one of the produces created by the volcanic eruption. Lava is the produce created by the volcanic eruption. Produce, farm produce, created by volcanic eruption. Produce created by the Big Bang, the outcome of the Big Bang. Factory produce, factory produce, farm produce, farm produce, engineering produce, engineering produce, produce, semiconductor produce, semiconductor produce, food produce, volcanic produce, farm produce, farm produce, produce, produce. There are some produces created by the volcanic eruption. There are some produces created by the volcanic eruption. I could see some produces created by the volcanic eruption. I could watch on TV the produces created by volcanic eruption. Are there some products you want to buy? Are there any products you want to buy? When it comes to expensive products, I usually buy at a reliable shop. At a reliable shop. Factory products. Who is the producer of the food? I want to buy the same one. He is in charge of the producer of the anime. In the receipt, I could see the name of the producer of the cooking, of the cuisine. In the receipt, I could see the name of the producer who cooked the cuisine, he cooked the cuisine. In the receipt, in the label, I could see the name of the producer who cooked the cuisine. In the label on the cuisine, I could see the name of the producer who cooked the cuisine. On the label attached on the cuisine of the package, I could see the name of the producer who cooked the cuisine. On the label, I could see the name of the producer who cooked the cuisine on the label attached to the box, attached to the lid, attached to the cooling film. I could see the name of the producer of the cuisine on the label attached to the cooling film. Producer. Who is the producer of the anime, of the animation? Who is the producer of the animation? Who is the producer of the animation? Who is the producer of the animation? The producer is very famous in the world. Some producers are very famous in the world. I hope my company will be the one of the most famous producers of semiconductor. I hope my company will be one of the most famous producers of semiconductor. I hope my corporation will grow into one of the most famous producers of semiconductor in the future, as early as next year. If I cannot see any improvement within 3 months, I try something different. If your level is If you cannot see any improvement in your level, you should change the formation or style or way of studying. If I cannot see any improvement in my level or score, I try to change my formation or way of practicing or studying. If I cannot see any improvement in my level, score, or other things, I try within 3 months, I try to change the formation or way of practicing, way of practice or studying. When I used to work in the company, I used to come up with improvement, kaizen, in the work environment. Maybe every 3 months? Every 3 months, I think. When I used to work for the company, we had to come up with improvement in the work environment was every 3 months. Even with practice, it's not possible to improve forever, continuously. Even with practice, our level can drop, decrease, go down. But during the course of the practice, our level will go up in the end, said the baseball player. Even with practice or study, it is not possible to keep going up. Even with practice or study, our level can drop. But during the course of going up and drop, going up and down, our level or score will go up gradually. I'd like to improve my 4 language skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. I'd like to put more emphasis on listening skill next year, because I put much emphasis on writing and speaking this year, which I guess reduced my listening skill, reduced my listening skill, so lessened my listening skills. So I will put focus on listening, studying next year. Coffee boosts my motivation to study. I drink a cup of coffee as a motivation boost. I drink a cup of coffee to boost my motivation. I think many people do the same thing. Security was boosted at the scramble intersection to prevent people from getting into chaos, mayhem. No more boost prices, please. No more boost prices, please. More and more commodity things are being boosted. Commodity prices recently are being boosted. More and more shops or restaurants are boosting prices because of the increase in the raw materials. More and more shops or restaurants are boosting their prices because of the increase in raw materials. Commodity prices are being boosted. Commodity prices are recently boosted. Commodity prices are being 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 boosted. Coffee boosts my motivation. 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 There are many ways to boost our motivation. Taking an examination or setting the goal will also be the boost for the motivation. Setting a goal is also boost our motivation. Forcing ourselves in an environment that we have to do in will be also the boost. Forcing ourselves in an environment that we have to do something in will also boost motivation or obligation. More and more restaurants or shops are increasing, boosting their prices because of the increase in raw materials. The security was boosted at the intersection, scrambled intersection, to prevent people from getting into chaos, mayhem, riot, and so on. Coffee boosts my motivation. Practice will boost our confidence. Practice will boost our confidence. Practice and experience on the spot will boost our confidence. Practice and experience will boost our confidence. Only experience, I guess, will boost our confidence. The more you practice and experience, the more confidence you will get. The more your confidence will be boosted. The more you experience and practice on the spot, the more confidence you will get. The more you will be boosted. The more your confidence will be boosted. The more your confidence will be boosted. The more you can boost your confidence, the more you have the experience, the more you can boost your confidence. The more you experience, the more you can boost your confidence. The more you experience, the more you can boost your confidence. The more you experience, the more you can boost your confidence. More and more shops or restaurants are boosting their prices because of the increase in raw materials. Not many people will wish for a tax boost. A tax boost. Not many people will wish for a tax boost. Are you in favor of a tax boost or against? Are you in favor of or against a tax boost? Tax boost, tax boost, a tax boost. Are you in favor of or against a tax boost? Are you in favor of or against a tax boost? Tax boost, a tax boost, a tax boost, a tax boost, a tax boost. A tax boost, 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 a tax boost. A tax boost, a tax boost. A tax boost. Not many people will be wishing for a tax boost. A tax boost. A tax boost. A tax boost. The boost of the number of foreign tourists will be pleasant news for the tourism industry, for those working in the tourism industry. The boost of the foreign tourist into the tourist spot will be a good news for those working there. Security boost is imminent to prevent to recover the order in the district. No more tax boost. Not many people will be wishing for tax boost. Tax boost might be inevitable given the low birth rate to cover the pension in the future. A tax boost might be inevitable to cover the expenses. A tax boost might be inevitable to cover the expenses, official expenses. A tax boost might be inevitable in order to cover more expenses. A tax boost might be inevitable to cover the expenses. I think many people finished shopping expensive things before the tax higher increase, tax boost, a 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 tax boost. A tax boost. attacks boost. No more attacks boost. No more attacks boost. I don't want. I want no more attacks boost. I want no more attacks boost. Hmm. Hmm. No more boost. No more attacks 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 boost. Could you give me a boost? When I failed the examination, teachers and my friends gave me a boost, saying that I could try it again, and I passed on the next year, in the next year. When I failed in the examination, my teacher and family and friends gave me a boost, telling me that I could challenge it again, and I passed it in the next year. I'd like to give you a boost. I'd like to give you a boost. When I failed in the examination, my teacher and friends gave me a boost, saying that I could try it again. Attacks boost. Could you give me a boost? Could you give me a boost? I'm so depressed now. No one gave me a boost at that time when I failed the examination. When I got lost, when I was lost, no one could give me a boost. I was obliged to solve myself. I was obliged to solve the problem by myself. I was forced to solve the problem by myself. I was forced to solve the problem by myself. I was forced to solve the problem by myself. No one gave me a boost. 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 I tried to give the little lady boost, but she didn't stop crying. When the team lost the game, the coach gave them a boost. And many fans also did. So did the many fans. When the team lost the game, the coach gave them a boost, and so did the fans. So did the fans and supporters. When the team lost the game, the coach gave them the boost. The coach gave them a boost, they gave a boost. The coach gave them a boost. So did the fans and supporters. So did the fans and supporters. When the team lost the game, the coach gave them a boost. So did the fans and supporters. When the team lost the game, lost the game, the coach gave them a boost. So did the fans and supporters. When the team lost the game, every supporter gave them a boost, 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 gave them a boost. When the team lost the game, all of the supporters gave them a boost, gave them a boost. Coffee is a kind of booster. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Thanks to the booster newly attached to the TV, the connection is very good. The TV used to have disconnection from time to time, but thanks to the booster, it's not disconnected at all recently. Thanks to the booster newly attached to the TV, the broadcast never disconnected. The TV used to be disconnected from time to time, but thanks to the booster, it never happened. It hasn't happened so far. It hasn't happened so far since then. It hasn't happened since then. Thanks to the booster newly attached to the TV, the connection is very good. The TV used to be disconnected from time to time, but it hasn't been disconnected since the establishment. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. What is the booster of your motivation? Setting a target. Setting a goal is also will become the booster of motivation. Setting a goal will be also the booster of the motivation. There are few boosters in favor of me. There are few boosters for me. There are few boosters for my dreams. way of thinking, perspective, and so on. And there are few boosters for my opinions. Booster. Coffee is a sort of booster of my motivation. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Do you like to add, subtract, multiply, divide figures? I could even recognize you from the back. I could even recognize you from the figure, back figure. I could even recognize you recognize your figure from the back. I don't like subtracting, adding, multiplying, and dividing figures. Do you want to be a famous figure? Do you want to be a famous figure? Do you like to add, subtract, multiply, and divide figures? Those companies aiming at only sales figures will not last long. Those companies aiming at sales figures only will not long last. Do you want to keep your figure? Would you like to keep your figure? Exercise is one of the ways to keep us healthy, to keep our appearance, to keep our shape, to keep us in shape, to stay us in shape, to keep us figure, to keep us figure, to keep our figure. Regular exercise is one of the ways to keep our figure. To keep our figure, keep one's figure, to keep our figure, to keep our figure. Regular exercise is one of the ways to keep our figure, to keep our figure, to keep our figure. Regular exercise is one of the ways to keep our figures, to keep our figure. I train my muscle regularly to keep my figure. I work out regularly. I work out regularly to keep my health, to keep me in shape, to stay me in shape, to leave me in shape, to keep my figure, 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 in order 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 to keep my figure. In order to keep my figure. In order to keep my figure. I regularly exercise to keep my figure. I regularly exercise to keep my figure. I regularly exercise to keep my figure. Do you regularly work? Do you regularly work out to keep your figure? Working out regularly is one of the ways to keep our figure. Working out regularly is one of the ways to keep our figure. Exercising regularly is one of the ways to keep our figure. To keep our figure. Keep our figure. What do you do to keep your figure? What are your recommendations to keep our figure? What are your recommended things to keep our figure? What are your recommended things to keep my figure? What are your recommendations to keep your figure? To keep your figure. What are the recommendations to keep me figure? To keep my figure? What are the recommendations and best things to do to keep your figure? I often confuse curve with curve. Curve. I often confuse the word curve with curve. That figures. Do you like to figure numbers? Do you like to figure numbers? Do you like figuring numbers? Do you like to figure 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 numbers? Do you like figuring 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 numbers? I'm not good at figuring. I'm not good at figuring numbers, so please do not leave the calculations to me. Do not leave calculations to me. I'm not good at figuring. I'm not good at figuring. Are you good at figuring numbers? Are you good at figuring numbers? Now we are calculating the sales figures. The staffs are calculating the sales figures. Do you like to figure sales figures? Do you like to figure numbers? Some kids like to figure numbers. Some kids like to figure numbers. Some kids like figuring numbers. Some kids like figuring numbers. Some kids like to figure numbers. Some kids like figuring numbers. I cannot figure numbers as quickly as you, as fast as you. I cannot figure numbers as fast as average people. I cannot figure numbers as fast as average people. I'd like to figure the numbers, but I don't have time and no tools to that. Like, no tools I have now, such as calculator, notebook, pencil, and so on. So once I get home, I will figure the numbers. The negligent staff made a mistake. That figures. That figures. That figures. The champion won against the opponent at the second round. That figures. 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 The earth goes around the sun. That figures. But in the past, the earth was thought to be flat. But in the past, the earth was thought to have been flat. In the past, the earth was considered to be flat. But the earth used to be considered as a flat. Used to be considered as a flat. The earth used to be considered as a flat. The earth goes around the sun. That figures. The earth is round. That figures. But in the past, the earth used to be thought as flat in the long time ago. In the past, the Earth used to be flat, was considered to be flat. The Earth once considered to be as a flat, considered to be a flat, considered as a flat. The Earth once thought to be flat. The Earth thought to be flat. The Earth was once thought to be flat. Once thought to be flat. Once thought to be flat. The Earth once thought to be flat. The Earth is once thought to be flat. Thought to be flat. The Earth was once thought to be flat. Was once thought to be flat. Was thought to be flat once. Was once thought to be flat. Was once thought to be flat. The Earth was once thought to be flat. The Earth was once thought to be flat. Was once thought to be flat. The Earth is round. That figures. 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 The negligent employee made a mistake again. That figures. The employee was laid off. That figures. That figures. That figures. That figures. Since I couldn't figure out the explanation written on the textbook, so I directly went to the teacher to get concise explanation, and I could finally understand it. The concise explanation by the teacher helped me to understand it better. Helped me understand it better. Many numbers were figured wrong. 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 I like some figurative expressions in the lyrics. We can find many cool figurative expressions in lyrics. Many figurative expressions are used in lyrics. Many cool figurative expressions are used in lyrics, in songs. Figurative, 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 figurative. Figurative, 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 figurative. Many figurative ways. Many figurative expressions are used in songs. Many cool figurative ways. Many cool figurative expressions are used in songs. Figurative. Figurative expression. Do you like figurative expressions? There are many figurative expressions in the song, so I often find it difficult to understand the meaning. I often find it difficult to understand the meaning of the figurative expression, wondering what they are really expressing, presenting, indicating, and so on. Mostly, many figurative expressions are used in the songs, so I often find them difficult to understand. I often find it difficult to understand. I often find it difficult to understand. I often find it difficult to understand the lyrics. I often find difficulty. I often find difficulty in understanding the meaning of the figurative expression. I often find it difficult. I often find difficulty in. I often find trouble in understanding the meaning of the figurative expression in songs. Figurative, 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 figurative. Do you like using figurative expressions? Many figurative expressions are used in songs, articles, and so on. Figurative. There are many figurative expressions used in many things such as lyric, songs, articles, and so on. Figurative. Do you like figurative expression? Figurative languages. Figurative. Figurative expressions. Figurative languages. Figurative way of expression. Figurative way of expression. Figurative way of expression. Figurative expression. Figurative expression. Figurative expression. Figurative way of expression. Figurative way of expression. Figurative expression. Figurative expression. Figurative language. Do you like to use figurative expressions? There are many figurative expressions are used in songs, articles, and so on. So I often find them difficult to understand the real meaning of them and behind them. So I often find difficulty in understanding the real meaning behind them. The many figurative expressions are used in songs, articles, and so on. So I often find difficulty in understanding the real meaning behind them. Figurative, 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 figurative. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Coffee is a kind of booster of my motivation. Figurative expression. Figurative. 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 Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.